How's it going, everybody? Smitty here. This is Uke with Smitty. Recently I posted a video to Reddit and a couple other places where I was playing a chord progression on the uke and something I'd made up, and several people asked me about the right hand technique, the strumming, the finger picking, how I did that. And so I figured I'd make a little tutorial just quickly overviewing how I did that. So first I'll show you the video and then I'll show you the techniques. So here's the video I'm talking about. So in this video there's three main techniques I'm doing. The first one is called a fan strum, like that. The second one is a chuck, which is like that. And the third one, I honestly don't know the name for it, but it's a combination of finger plucking with your thumb and strumming with your index finger, like so. So let's break down those three techniques and see if we can figure out how to do them. So let's look at the first technique, which is the Rasgueado or fan strum. So Rasgueado is a flamenco guitar technique. I'm by no means a flamenco guitarist, not classically trained, none of that. But it's called the fan strum because it kind of looks like you're fanning, and apparently Rasgueado in Spanish means like to rasp. So basically you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 flicks. And I think about, I don't know about you guys, but when I was a little kid, it was kind of like a game to try to get up behind somebody and flick their ear. Flick. So I think about 4 flicks. You curl your fingers on your palm and flick. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do it fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's the fan strum. There's the first technique. So the second technique you'll notice in that video where I'm playing is after I do the fan strum, I go, and that's called a chuck. So a chuck is where you put your palm down on the strings and you use your fingernail to go like this. And you're using your palm to mute the strings, and you're getting that nice loud kind of chuck, chinking sound. And the reason you like to use your fingernail for that is because if you use the fleshy part of your thumb or your fingers, it doesn't give you that nice kind of sound, which is what you want. So an example would be like... Now, I always chuck on a downstroke. I think you can chuck on upstrokes too, but basically you put your palm down and you go, and you usually use it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, usually on the 2s or the 4s or something like that. There's other strumming patterns where you can use it on the 1 and the 3. But basically after that first thing where I do the Rasgueado, the fan, I go, so it's just a chuck. So that's the second technique. Okay, so the third and final technique I'm doing in that video, like I said, I really don't know the name for this. I've actually been looking to see if there's other tutorials out there because I figure I can't be the only person doing this. There's something called cherry picking, which Tobias Elof talks about, another ukulele teacher way more talented than me. I'll have a link to that in the description. But basically what I'm doing is, I guess, kind of a watered down version of the cherry picking technique. And what you want to do is combine plucking and strumming. So I'm always plucking with my thumb. And basically, it sounds something like this. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, you pluck. And on the other ones, you strum, either downstroke with the fingernail, upstroke with the fleshy part. And I'm only strumming with my pointer finger, and I'm plucking with my thumb. So I'm only using these 2 fingers. So it sounds like this. Of course, there's different patterns you can do. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3 or whatever, but you know, you can make it sound like... But the key concept is the same, that you're plucking with your thumb on a downstroke and you're strumming up and down with your index finger. So putting all three of those together for this technique, it's a fan strum, a chuck, and then some of that plucking and strumming technique, which I wish there was a cool name for the way I do it, but there isn't. So it sounds something like this. And that's all three of them together. Okay, so there you have it. Those were the three things that I combined to do the right hand technique, strumming and finger picking for that little ditty I made up. Hope you guys found that interesting. Hope it was helpful. If you're interested in this kind of content, ukulele songs, tutorials, tips, tricks, that kind of thing, that's what I do on this channel. So you can consider subscribing. I try to post at least once a week. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.